Stop using the wrong muscles. Part 2, we got the snatch second pull, right? Or as I call it, the above the knee positions. Now keep in mind in this series, there are muscles that need to be on in our Olympic lifts. There are muscles that need to be off in our Olympic lifts. And typically most issues for lifters come from having a miscommunication between these two. And what I'm highlighting are the muscles that need to be off, the wrong muscles. Please stop using them in different key positions of the lift. So today we got the snatch second pull that's above the knee. The first muscle that needs to be off, it's wrong, are the arms, right? Holy arm bend. How many athletes out there as they pass the knee, their arms just keep bending and bending and bending. As a buddy of mine in the CrossFit world would always say, when the arm bends, the power begins. And it's a complete joke because when your arms bend at the wrong time, you lose power. But so many athletes fall into this trap and they never take the time to build that technique to keep their arms nice and long. So nice and long arms past the above the knee position. Please stop using them for the sake of your lifts. Your lifts are begging you, keep my arms long, bro, please. So with that, if we're not using the arms, what are we doing? Remember, as you pass that above the knee position, the hip hinge, hinging open at the hip, allowing ourselves to come upright. Think more like an RDL as I'm hinging open at the hip to come up. My arms are nice and long, but because those lats, as I mentioned in part 1, are keeping the bar with us versus pulling it in, it is allowing us and the bar to come together to meet. That's how us and the bar to come together versus our arms trying to pull them in or whatever arms are trying to do when they're bending. So keep those arms long. Hey, just a quick interruption while we're talking about getting into the back and other muscles that we shouldn't be getting into. We're putting together an online course that, if these videos have helped you, is going to help you take it to the next level. It's going to have a complete approach to technique. It's going to have troubleshooting of how to troubleshoot your technique and make corrections, and programming to make corrections. It's perfect for the person in the messy middle where you've been doing this 1 to 4 years and you're stuck. You're just not making progress. And beginners, someone that wants to foundation of how to lift well, lift heavy, and lift for as long as you choose. So click the link up here or the link down in the description. I have a special deal for you. So check it out, and back to this video. The second muscle that needs to stay off are the traps. I mentioned this in part 1 because those suckers get kicked on off the floor and even tightened up as we're trying to tighten off the floor. But let's stay in part 2 here. As we're going past that knee, typically with those arms starting to bend, we can get up into the shoulders, up in the traps. We need to slow things down to help us feel this. Keep those traps nice and long. It's the anticipation of what's to come. We're about to take this overhead, and our nervous system likes to try to start to recruit all these other things. Sets and reps and slowing it down is what allows us to feel this. You keep those traps long with those arms. When you get to the hip with the leg drive, you're going to have so much power. So the wrong muscle, traps. Please keep them long. And finally, the last wrong muscle use at the snatch second pull is the lat. Now you might be just going, what in the world are you talking about? You just mentioned the lat helping us. I did. And where I'm highlighting the lat going off is if we're trying to use the lat to pull the bar in, almost like we're trying to row the bar in to our hip, the lat again is keeping the bar from swinging away. So the lat is on, but the lat is not actively contracting, pulling the bar towards us. If it's actively contracting, pulling the bar towards us, very often we're going to create a collision. We're going to get more bruises at the hip. And because of that collision, that is friction from the drive. It's almost like a choke point because the lats are pulling in, but our legs are trying to drive the bar up. Do you see that timing there? The lats need to be on to where it's keeping the bar going away from us, so us and the bar can connect. That bar can jump up off the hip and nirvana sings, right? So here's the kicker, guys. As I mentioned throughout this, There are blind spots. All of us lifters have different mixtures of these muscles turning on, turning off. And when you get coaching, when you get a coaching eye on you, step 1 is observation. What are you doing? Step 2, discussion. What are you doing? Do you feel this? Can you feel this? What have you learned? What have you interpreted out there? Step 3, unlearning. Unlearning whatever it was that you thought you were trying to do. So then here's just green pastures of happiness, because all of a sudden you see a big increase in your lifts, and for the amount of time and effort and the goals that you have, it's worth it. So smash this button to get a discovery call with us, guys. Let's connect. We're going to get on a call. We're going to discuss your goals, where you're at, where you want to go, get you the support you need. So since this video has helped you, smash that thumbs up button, pay it forward, send it forward to a friend, and subscribe. Part 3 is coming next week.